Hi everyone, Tina Calorie here. Thanks for joining me today. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about calorie counting. I think that there's probably a good amount of you guys out there who live and breathe and die by the amount of calories that you take in on a daily basis and what you think you spend on a daily basis. Well, I'm probably going to surprise you a little bit, but I'm going to tell you that calorie counting is total horseshit. Stop counting calories. It is such an inexact science that there's no way for you to determine with 100% certainty how many calories you're taking in and how many calories you're expending on a day-to-day basis. All right, I want to give you an example. Have you ever written down or logged everything that you've eaten in the day? Or even if you've done it over a month or over a week or over 3 days or over a year, you've written down everything. You've tracked everything that you've eaten. You've written down every exercise that you have. You even have a watch, you have it on your phone, whatever it is, on how many calories you're burning per workout, right? Based on what you're seeing on paper, you're at a calorie deficit. I'm taking in less calories than I'm eating. I'm not losing weight. What the fuck is going on? Have you ever been in that situation where you're like, what the fuck is going on? Right? I'm at a calorie deficit. People tell me calories in, calories out. I can't lose weight. Okay, that's because it's an inexact science. So yes, you might have that calorie deficit on paper, but things could be a little bit skewed. Okay, there are so many variables when it comes to counting calories, whether they're counting calories coming in or counting calories going out. All right, let me give you this example here. You do a workout. You do the same workout 5 days in a row. Exactly the same workout 5 days in a row. There's no way that you're going to get that same exact number on that calorie burn all 5 days in a row. There's just no way. Way too many variables. What did you eat yesterday? What did you eat today? Did you drink a lot of water today? Did you sleep well? Did you not sleep well? Did you have a lot of caffeine? Did you not? Okay, there's just a couple of variables right there. But really, is there any way to determine that you're working at 95% of your capacity with each of those workouts? Or were you a little bit sluggish today versus yesterday you crushed it? You're going to have way too many variables on figuring out that calorie burn. Okay, and technically, really, you've got a heart rate monitor on. That's great. It's going to give you an approximation on what you're burning for calories. Your calorie determination is really based on the oxygen that you're expending. So unless you've got a mask on to help you figure out what kind of oxygen you're expending during your workout, your heart rate monitor is giving you an approximation on that calorie burn. Okay, let's talk about the food that you're taking in. The food that you're taking in has a real big variation too, okay? Again, it comes back to what did you eat yesterday? What did you eat today? Okay? Because your body's going to absorb your nutrients differently every day. You might have a little bit of an upset belly. You know, your intestines could be a little bit funky today, so you might not be absorbing as much as you were yesterday. All these different things come into play. Okay, so here's what happens when you grab a box of whatever and you look at the calories and you say, oh, that's 130 calories. Okay, so I'm going to give you by way of example. All right, Triscuits. This is the Aldi brand of Triscuits, but let's just go with it, okay? So if I look at this box of Triscuits, it tells me that there are 6 crackers is 1 serving size and it's 130 calories. Okay, so how do we determine that that's actually 130 calories? It's actually done in a lab. And scientists actually burn that food, and through a couple of different processes, they determine that burning those 6 wafers equals 130 calories. Now, there's a couple of variations though that come into that, right? So, while these crackers are only made up of whole wheat, soybean oil, and sea salt, do you ever watch How Is It Made on TV and you see those big, huge vats of food and they're all getting stirred up and all the stuff is getting added into it and stirred up? There could be slight variations in different batches of your food, right? There could be a little more whole wheat in there and a little less soybean oil, or it could be the other way in this particular batch, okay? Your data could be outdated. Maybe they did that 10 years ago. Okay, now let's think about that whole wheat that was just harvested. That whole wheat could have a very different nutrient content than it did 10 years ago. Soil depletion, over farming, right? It could have to do with the timing of when that wheat was harvested. Was it in the spring? Was it in the fall? Was it a dry summer? Who knows? There's all those variations in there too, okay? So even when you look at natural foods, when you look at fruits or vegetables, again, depending on when that particular item was harvested, changes its nutrient content. If it was manufactured, if it was grown in a greenhouse versus outside. If you're eating meat or dairy, it depends on your animal's intake of food and nutrients, right? Because that all passes through to either its meat or its milk. So those things change too. There's a lot of variables that you need to take into consideration when you're looking at calories. So why do I say that calorie counting is horseshit? Because there's way too many variables involved for you to determine exactly how many calories you're taking in versus exactly how many calories you're expending. So what do I suggest? I suggest that you track your food. I want you to look at your serving sizes that you're eating. Are you eating monstrous portions of things, or are they moderate sized, right? Remember earlier on this week, last week, we talked about those color-coded containers, right, from the 21-day fix. That's a great way for you to determine how much food you should be eating rather than counting the calories of those things. So if you should be eating 4 to 5 to 6 servings of greens every day, rather than counting the calories that are in the spinach and in the lettuce and in the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the peppers, why not simply say, I need to have 6 servings of greens a day, and measure out your servings and make sure that you're eating appropriately that way. And if you're still on that health and fitness journey trying to drop that weight, it's a journey, it's a process. It's a matter of determining these are the workouts that are working for me, this is the food intake that's working for me, and the scale is adjusting accordingly. My body is changing accordingly. And if it's not, that's when you need to make those adjustments to either your workouts or to your food. This is why I say it's so important for you to log exactly what you're eating and to log your workouts. I'm not saying to track your specific calories. Log it so you've got a visual representation of exactly what you're eating and exactly what you're doing and how your body is changing to it. Just today, in one of my groups today, we talked about how much their bodies are changing. Their bodies are changing. Yes, somebody dropped 20 pounds. She dropped 20 pounds. She's dropped 2 pant sizes, but her waist is exactly the same size. What does that tell me? She's losing some weight around those hips. Whereas somebody else said, I've only lost 7 pounds, but my body is slimming, right? It's not always about the number on the scale. It's about how your body's changing and about how you're feeling inside and outside. So stop counting the calories. Don't track specifically 10 calories in this, 130 calories in that, 150 here, 300 there. Stop counting your calories. Look at your portion sizes and make sure that you're eating a wide variety of foods and getting in what you should be getting in on a daily basis. And again, move purposefully. Move your body with some vigor at least 3 times a week. You've got to get that exercise in. So while we say you can't outrun a bad diet, you can't. And we say 80% nutrition, 20% food, you have to have both of those things together. You have to be eating appropriately and you have to be moving your body. That's the only way that you're going to make those significant changes that you're looking for. If you need help determining, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? Reach out to me. I'm here to help you. Please reach out to me. I am here to help you in your health and fitness journey. All right, thanks for joining me today as we talked about why calorie counting is horseshit. I hope you understand that there are way too many variables for you to concretely rely on those numbers. Again, reach out to me, ask me if you have questions, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next round.